And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 132 of the Sling'N podcast. I'm TJ.
And I'm confused.
Yeah, guys, slight update. Kent has had has gone through a transition in life. He has actively started using computers.
Dude, all I want to do is share one clip from the podcast from last week. I started trying to share a podcast clip at 7:55.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just watching the counter go. It's showtime. We'll wait. We'll let this happen. Let's let this play out. Let's see where it goes for our own entertainment.
Not your 7:55, my 7:55. I've been fucking with this for a half hour, 40 minutes since before you showed up.
Yeah, I realize that's why I jumped on when I did, because clearly you needed some moral support, buddy. That's what I'm here for.
Jesus, bro.
So, what's new with you, man? So we're here to talk about TACON, but what else has been new for the folks that are just now tuning in? Kent and I have been on a bit of a hiatus. Everything is cool, everything is fine, but life gets in the way sometimes. Yeah, you got to figure out which side I'm on first, right. Asshole.
Everything's fine. It's all fine. Everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
Just fucking
everything is fine.
Oh man, life has been good. Here's my update for the night. This is how bad things have gotten around here. Okay.
We are waiting. Oh my God, you're wearing Crocs.
This is real. This is real. This is peak dad right here, bro.
Well, hold on. You are completing the ensemble. You have black socks on with them, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Enigma,
you still got
underwear, dress shirt, Crocs. That's what we got going on right now.
I mean, it's a podcast, man. Nobody can see below the desk level, so we're good. Don't.
Yeah, so wearing Crocs, that's the thing. Testing out a new gun we'll tell you guys about someday if it doesn't suck. Shooting IDPA, shooting USPSA, bunch of private lessons. We got defensive rifle metrics coming up this coming weekend. There are 3 slots left. 2. There's not many slots left. It's not a full class, but it's not an empty class. So that's cool. Let's see what else. That's about it, man. I'm just so tired and enjoying life. It's good to be busy. That's what I got going on. You, on the other hand, have finished your what was the Kylo Ren like space shuttle background that you got going on there?
Yeah, decorating man style.
You look like got the.
So I could do the color thing now. I didn't spring for the expensive version and get the like with the app. I've still got the ghetto, controller here, but I could do it. That's supposed to be green. There we go. I do blue, yellow. Yellow's not bad. Washes me out a little bit, but I've always had kind of a red light in the background, right? Got to advertise my horror nature. Let people know who might be walking by and seeing through my basement window. Oh, red light's on. TJ's getting busy. That's what's happening there. So, yeah, good times. Hey, this is a great addition. So this is one of the things that always bothered me. So I'm on webcam quite a bit. Hashtag OnlyFans. But for my work, right, as a cobbler, I'm often on webcam, and I got tired of using the digital backgrounds, and a couple of the other guys at work were adding like these 3-dimensional wall panels behind them and really doing like a nice, podcast-esque streamer style backdrop. And I'm like, you know what? I like that. I'm going to do it better than you guys. So I jumped on that bandwagon. So real easy project. It took some time to get everything, but these 3D panels are glued to a piece of 1-inch thick foam board that I've painted black and screwed the foam board to my wall. So it adds a little bit of sound deadening as well. For not like I needed it much behind me, but whenever we're broadcasting on microphone. Anytime you can surround yourself with, non-solid or non-hard surfaces to cut down on echo, makes things a little bit easier. So it's multi-purpose and it looks good.
Yeah. I just want to know if, like, do you see the red?
Yeah.
So, like, you got a red light in your face right now?
I mean, not in my face. I've got some key lights going on. But yeah, I mean, it's like you can see the LEDs, but because of the way the image is cropped, the camera can't see them.
Got it.
So,
yeah. Got no-gi class in the morning. That'll be fun.
yeah. I am actually not doing the gym tomorrow. I am going to the range, put some more rounds through the test gun, and knocking some items off my honey-do list.
Should we do like a teaser on the test gun or no?
No, nothing. Yeah, there. That's it. You get the corner of the box. There you go.
That's all you get for now. You went to a jiu-jitsu tournament.
Yep. Went to the Pan American Championship down in Florida.
Is Pan one of those like he, him, they, them, their?
No.
Is it that kind of American, or what kind of American is it?
No. So Pan Americans, or the Pan America region, is pretty much all of the Americas. So North America, South America, all the way down, right? It is the largest jiu-jitsu tournament held in the United States.
So you have like Panamanians?
Sure.
Okay. That makes sense. Everybody is messaging. They want to.
No, it was really cool though, because there were there's a lot of big names in jiu-jitsu that showed up. Cyborg was there, Andre Galvoa was there, John Danaher was there from the Danaher Death Squad.
Ooh.
So many people were there. It was really cool. Actually, Bernardo Faria was there. If anybody that does jiu-jitsu and has YouTubed jiu-jitsu lessons or jiu-jitsu moves, Bernardo Faria has got actually a pretty popular channel. And I'll be honest with you, I was surprised at how tall he is in reality. He's like 6'4".
That's a big person.
Yeah, it's a tall dude. So.
Well,
yeah, it was good times. I mean, so tournament didn't really go the way I wanted it to. I won my first match. I lost my second match to points. Honestly, I made a mistake. I feel like my jiu-jitsu was better than my opponent in that second match. But rather than sticking to it and trying to get past his guard, I dove backwards for an ankle lock, and I shouldn't have given up that I shouldn't have given up that ground, and that's what happened. So we ended up in a scramble. He scored a few points on me. We went the whole distance, and he ended up being victorious because of the points.
yeah,
and I think I'm getting it. I think I'm getting an echo from you, buddy. We might want to find you some headphones.
Nope, it's not real. Just fake
news. The echo says it is.
I'm just going full Trump on you. It's not real. I don't know what to tell you. It's fake news. How about now?
Testing? Nope, still there.
So weird.
Yeah, we go so many episodes without this echo problem, and now all of a sudden it's a thing.
Fake news. No, I've changed nothing. Here. I'm going to shuffle that way. Is that better?
Testing? Yeah, it's a little better.
Just moving my computer around. How about now?
Probably still there. Yep.
I don't want to do this anymore. Technology kills me. Sure. So, what if I do this?
Testing. Nope, still there.
What if I do
headphones? Okay, that definitely stops it. But we can't hear you at all.
Dude, this is fucking. I should not be allowed to touch computers today. This is unfucking real. I'm going to go up and grab some headphones.
Okay, we will pause for this commercial break.
I guess I gotta go like all the way up to the bedroom to grab the AirPods.
No, grab your AirPods real quick. I'll entertain the folks. But yeah, there you go. Mute it for me. All right, folks. So just let's go ahead and talk about a couple of things coming up. So as Kent mentioned, defensive rifle metrics is next weekend. That class is filling up. There's only a couple of slots left. Just as a heads up, Kent and I will be running it back. I'm coming out to AI with Kent. So we will be in Pennsylvania for June. I want to say it's the week of June 10th. So be mindful of that. If you guys want to come out and hang out with us on the range, get some awesome training in. The defensive pistol metrics class, I've taught with Kent before. Absolutely phenomenal class. If you get a chance to take it, even if you've been through it once, come on back through again. It's a great time. A lot of very challenging drills. But nothing that Kent and I can't equip you to handle in relatively short order with relative ease and advanced skill set. We will also be running it back at the Apache Solutions compound over there in Yadkinville, North Carolina in September. So looking forward to seeing you guys there. Had the privilege of getting to go out to both of those locations. So these are places that Kent and I have both been to give this class. And I'll tell you what those Apache guys got going on out there in Yadkinville is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm looking forward to us doing it again. So Kent is back. Kent is patiently tackling his technology issues. If we remain perfectly still, he won't notice us. His vision is based on movement and an abundance of light. Here we see the wild Kent in his natural habitat. Watch him as he surveys his land and stalks his prey. Will he strike? Will he be scared by our presence? Only time will tell. We may have success. The audience is waiting with bated breath. Has Kent solved his audio problems? We will stand by and watch vigilantly.
If this doesn't work, I swear to God.
Maybe. It works! Holy shit.
Wow. All right, so
you got me in your ears. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a surprise. Yes, your microphone is working. The echo is gone. Audio has improved. Ladies and gentlemen, we have success. All right, the podcast may resume.
I'm not allowed. I shouldn't be allowed.
Although I was kind of digging the wildlife channel narration that I was getting to do as we watched you try to figure out technology.
You know what's fucked up is I couldn't hear any of that. So like you could have been talking like the most mad shit.
Dude, the playback and the audio clips you're gonna get from that for the social media posts is gonna be amazing.
Oh, anyway, I don't understand technology. Why is there no echo before we go live and then there's an echo when we go live?
Probably from the stream and the upload speed. That's the only thing I can imagine that it is.
With BPD boopidis.
Hey, folks, we try to bring you a live podcast. This is some of the shit you got to deal with.
Sorry, no, the problem is me. No, the problem is me. You don't want to have to deal with me. Nobody wants to deal with me.
No, I love dealing with you.
Just making sure the sound of my voice is amazing.
Yeah, it just sounded like you deep-throated your microphone, but sure.
Student the gun, Paul Markle, he's always like,
I'm talking into the base of the most amazing microphone ever.
Right.
Yeah, that's what he does. So, yeah, you were talking about, I came down, you were talking about class. What class?
Yeah, so the defensive pistol metrics in June that we're doing up there in Pennsylvania and the defensive pistol metrics back at Yadkinville in September.
Yeah. I like defensive pistol metrics. That's a fun class.
Yeah, I hear they're all of the metric-y metrics that they could metric.
Is this mic still on?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna incessantly do this for the rest of the show. Oh, Christ.
It's gonna be a lonely podcast.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
So
be
anyway.
here by myself.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah,
you went to TACCon. You took your autograph
I did.
book. You got to meet some cool people.
I
So
did.
for the folks, for the uninitiated, what is the tacticalist of conferences that ever tacticaled?
So you stole my. I was gonna say that conferences these days, why are they so tactical? So the Rangemaster Tactical Conference is how do I put this? Training tapas. So it's appetizers of training classes, 2 and 4 hour blocks, put on by the world's best firearm trainers that Tom Gibbons could get to show up. Just kidding. No, like a lot of really, really squared away guys and girls come down and put on content at the Dallas Pistol Club in Dallas, Texas. And geez, anybody from Tim Herron to Tim Kelly to Tim Chandler to there's a lot of Tims. You get the idea. Tim Herron, Scott Jedlinski, Tim Kelly, Gabe White, the folks from 360 Performance, Tim and Ashton, John Daub, Lee Weems, Eric Gelhaus, Lou Hamlin. I could just, if you went on like Pistol Forum in like 2019 and read like a list of names, you could just read that. Tim Reedy, right? How could I forget the kilt in the streets fella?
So just copy paste all the contributors to that post.
Pretty close, yeah. Givens did a couple things himself. He did a thing on low light, and then he ran folks through his standards. I heard numbers anywhere from like 280 to 350 attendees. I never got an official count. A lot of influencer types, a lot of media folks. Matt Landfair for primary and secondary. Alex from Suited Shootist, who's on here. Annette Evans from On Her Own. A good representation from Girl and a Gun. Bunch of Rangemaster trainers like myself. And then, perhaps most surprisingly to me, just some training people, just some like truly students, not folks who own a training company, not anybody who has any industry reason to be there, not just dudes and girls just coming out to train. Memphis Beach was the most photographed attendee, and somehow he wasn't even there. That's pretty impressive. Let's see what else happened. Yeah, big smattering of attendees. So the format, I was thinking about the format, and I was wrong. I was all wrong about what I was, because one of these eons, I'd love to present it something like this, and I was thinking, man, I can't, like, what am I going to teach these people in 2 hours? Or what would you teach these people in 4 hours? Or what could you get across? And I think I was looking at it wrong. And the real idea is more about getting across what your methodology and training style is and giving it to those folks as a, like, hey, if you like the cut of my jib, this is a good understanding of who I am and how I train.
Right. Yeah, I like that concept. I think you could come up with something.
Oh, I already done did. But like, you ever been to BJ's and you walk around and they have those little samples of like sausage and crackers and different things, like the big box stores, maybe Sam's Club for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you look at it as a nice little sample of the crackers rather than a like meal, then you're kind of more on the right page. It's not to devalue the training value in any one particular thing. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, as a true attendee with no business purpose there, your best bang for your buck is to get as much information as you can out of the lectures and then attend the shooting classes to kind of see who you want to schedule to train with that following year.
I can dig it.
And if you look at it from that perspective, what a hell of a value. Because otherwise, you might. And honestly, the only thing I'd say about this is I can't imagine Tom having anybody come out and inviting somebody to a thing like this who you took a 4-hour block with and you're like, nope, I ain't gonna do this. This guy or gal is terrible. I can't really see that. But it's more like an industry showcase. And that's pretty cool. And then of course, the accessibility in terms of like jiu-jitsu, combative stuff for the regular person. Justin went to his first mini jiu-jitsu class at TechCon. So that was pretty cool.
Good.
Cecil Birch just forced him to go. Cecil was like, well, I'm going to jiu-jitsu you, so you better jiu-jitsu back. Justin was terrified. No, he wasn't at all. He did a great job, actually. So yeah, there's a little combatives, a little force on force. The experiential learning lab from Craig Douglas was a big hit. I really found a lot of value in the lectures. Of special note, Dobbs, Weems, and Gelhaus did a lecture talking about the aftermath of shootings from both the law enforcement and the civilian perspective. John Dobbs' wife showed up, and he spoke about the effects of his shooting on his family, right? And how obviously you can imagine what that kind of conversation was like. It was pretty powerful with the missus sitting in the front row kind of thing. That struck me. Kind of how law enforcement policy is informed by badge cam video and stuff. There was some, I don't know. I don't want this to come off wrong. None of the content is anything I didn't like. At least in that lecture, was something I didn't know or understand. But it was really nice and interesting to hear the individual firsthand perspective, and to feel and catch the rawness and the emotion of the whole thing. Eric Gelhaus is famous for having shot a young man with a toy gun.
Right.
So you have a law enforcement officer who shot a young man with a toy gun standing in front of a room full of his peers and total strangers to him, honestly recalling the details of that event. You beat the shit out of a Dateline NBC interview, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just to his credit, right? No punches pulled. He stood up there and clicked through a slide deck and talked about his real life, real world, no shit experience of having been the guy to press the trigger on a mistake of fact shooting. And
yeah, that's not that's not a perspective that I think a lot of us get that train actively with firearms, right?
Nope.
I think we all kind of embody our inner action star, right? There's a little bit of that happens in the background, right? It can't happen to me, or everything that I do is going to be like, I train to not get it wrong, right? It's really humbling, I guess is the right word, maybe a shocking dose of reality that, hey, this is a guy that presumably is trained just as much, if not more so than each of us as civilian responsible self-defenders. And he was one of those guys that runs towards the sounds of the gunfire or the direction that the witnesses are pointing in. Like, there's the bad guy, go get him. and he runs in to do his thing, and sees everything that visual, auditory cues, everything that he would need to make that snap decision, and come to find out it was, I think, to your point, a mistake of facts.
Yep.
And
So
I don't think a lot of us don't think about that. Like, we've talked about it on the show before around like low light stuff like that. But yeah, positive ID if you target, even sometimes that positive ID, that extra second that you take could mean your life, or it could mean the death of an innocent, or the serious wounding of an innocent.
I'm going to characterize, and you know what? We'll get him on here someday and have him, if he's willing, do this.
Absolutely.
But just to not mischaracterize his incident, TLDR version goes something like this. He's an FTO, so he's doing field training. He has a field trainee with him, or a newer cop with him. They're in a vehicle driving around. He sees a group of young military-age males with guns, just on the beat, you're out cruising around, all of a sudden, broad daylight, military-age males with guns. That's not good. They stop the car, they bail out, they get into the V, they start hollering orders. Orders are not immediately complied with. Bodies turn. Guns start turning or swinging in the direction of the officers. Crack, crack, crack. Young man goes to the ground. Eventually, they advance on or maneuver on the young man, separate the rifle from the young man, only to realize it's a fake gun.
Right.
That's fucking. Yeah, I'm sure I'm not doing his justice. He talked about it for 35 minutes. I gave it 35 seconds. So, that's kind of what he discussed. But to have a guy, now, internet humans, don't get this wrong, right? Mr. Gelhaus was not like up there parading around like, yeah, I got away with it, or yeah, I was right, or I'm righteous, or that was not the tone of this at all. The tone of this was, this event changed and altered the course of my life forever. Unfortunately, in the case of the young man, that young individual had some criminal problems and some criminal history, and could have just as easily been running around with a real gun. I took from context that they were using fake guns for real things, kind of thing, like maybe they were pulling robberies or something like that.
It's happened.
So it's not as though he like rolled up into a park, like a neighborhood park, and there were some kids playing airsoft and he smoked one of them. That wasn't really the context either. But anyway, again, short, a short homage to a big situation kind of thing. But just to have those guys, and then to have Dobb, and then to have Weems. Weems talked about law enforcement shootings from the point of an administrator. He's being that he's or was the chief deputy of the agency that he was talking about at the time. He talked about how his deputies' shootings influenced and affected policy. That was pretty interesting.
And those are perspectives that none of us really get an opportunity to see, at least not firsthand, right? We can go on YouTube and whatever have you, and we can see body cam footage and press conferences and all that stuff. But to have that candid conversation in the perspective of somebody who had to deal with it, it's a completely different result. Or I'm struggling to find the right word here without overusing the word perspective, but
yeah, it was basically,
it certainly adds weight.
Weems talked about like, hey, for example, the agency he was in, the jail. So he was, chief deputies of the sheriff's department that oversaw both street operations and the jail. And in their documentation of incidences, anytime a deputy or a corrections officer implemented a taser or spray or any less lethal or even drew a weapon, they had a very broad range of use of force.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, this is use of force. Coming to the compressor ready with a tool in your hand is use of force, right? By their definition, or it was. Until they had a guy get in a shooting and the opposing counsel representing the family dug up his police record and said, oh, well, this guy has 25 uses of force, making it sound like, he had shot or tased or stabbed.
Yeah,
But really, anytime he ever put a tool in his hands, it was considered a use of force by department policy. So his shooting changed that department policy. That kind of a thing. So that was pretty interesting. I found that conversation very useful and informative. I found, see, I'm giving you some of my highlights, like learning moments. Ernest Langdon did a really good job of explaining reaction time by a trigger control demo and reaction time. And I have done that before, but not the way he did it. And I thought it was really neat. That was a pretty cool moment. Let's see what else. It's really cool to watch Tim Herron and, I kind of went over and cheerleadered for Tim Herron and told people to host him and all that fun jazz.
So you brought your skirt with you?
Fuck yeah. Same thing for Jedi, right? Perhaps my favorite part of TACON was watching my friends Tim and Zach from Apache Solutions fucking flourish in their moment, right? It was a really, really, really kind of proud moment for me to watch those guys have the big turnouts to their classes, and to see Masada Ayub standing there in a Tim Kelly class. That's fucking rad. Really
that's cool.
Super rad. Yeah, dude. Absolutely. Timmy was over there actually apparently talking about how, like, telling some story about me or whatever from one of their trips as I walked around the corner and Tim Herron was in the class and he was like, he's right there. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And all the students are like kind of look at him like, sorry, Tim, I'm not here. But dude, having those dudes represent and do such a great job was awesome. I'm telling you right now, between Vigor Training and Gunset and Apache and GMD, like, sorry, Gun World, we're taking over one class at a time with all the respect due to the rest of you. But I couldn't be more proud of our team or our dudes. Really neat to see Zach shine in those moments, and of course Tim. Couldn't be more proud of those two dudes. That was a really neat time. And
the scoundrels will rise.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, watching Trey and Zach fucking slay it in the competition. Almost. It was rigged. Tom rigged it. It's fine. They're cheating. It's all fine. I mean, that's not real, but in my head, it was rigged. I'm just going to call it was rigged. Now, watching the competition, that was really neat. Other highlights. Oh, my Lord. Dude, I went to church with Tiffany Johnson and Akil Kadir, listening to them talk about teaching new people, like, instruction for beginners. And I swear to God, I was like getting the Holy Ghost. I was up in there. She would say some shit, and I'd be like tapping Justin. I'd be like, see, I've been saying that for you. Like, hello, would it preach? Like, just fucking in the back, just losing it, just clapping her on. Like the Family Guy bus. Sing what you see. Sing what you see. I was just fucking.
Oh, Jesus.
I was just loving it, dude. Honest to God. That lady, so Tiff and Akil, if folks don't know, fucking basically helped Tom run TACCON for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're running around on golf carts, helping, coordinating, radioing, doing the thing, doing the damn event coordinator thing. And then immediately like, oh, look at the time. It's whatever time it was. I guess I'll go teach. And just, oh, time to teach. And just snap right into giving content. And they gave fucking phenomenal content about teaching beginners. I almost went back. A lot of these
that's a special skill. That's a special skill in and of itself, right?
Yeah.
Because like hell, even when I come up in AI for you, like that night before day one, like you and I are going through, looking at the list of students, reviewing the content, looking for change. Like we're mentally preparing for that. Now, do I think that if especially you, I think that skill is absolutely present, but there's still that mode of preparation that we go through.
Yep.
Hell, I do it professionally as well. I do it for work, right? I can go, from cutting up, working with my team. It's like, oh, I've got to present to a client or whatever have you. And yeah, like I don't think a lot of people understand the level of skill that goes into being able to present on a professional forum on a topic or subject matter that you have dedicated a large majority of your life to.
Yep. No, they did a phenomenal job with that. And then, not to be overstated, is the fellowship and the camaraderie and the socialization and the welcoming nature. We got to, not just because he's here, right? But Steve Hall's in the chat. And, he's kind of like, he's a student guy and he's been around and he sussed out some really quality information for himself and got some good training from some good guys, regionally and all that good stuff. And even further than that, has taken some heavy hitting classes. But, a guy like that comes down to TACCON and like knows essentially nobody other than the handful of us that he's met somewhere else. And immediately just gets the like, bro, you coming to dinner or what? Because, we're all everybody's chill. Everybody's part of the crowd. Everybody's here for each other. Everybody's relaxing. Everybody's being professional. And we we invited Steve to the first official TACCON inaugural AI dinner. And when I say official, I mean it's not official. It wasn't sanctioned, but we did an AI's dinner because they all do an instructor's dinner. So we were like, fuck y'all, we're doing an AI dinner. That was fun as hell. So we, Phil Groff and Justin and me and 2/3 of Gunset and 1/3 of Apache and Steve Hall and God knows, I mean, going out to restaurants with like 5 and 10 and 15 dudes. So much fun. Meeting Tim Herron on Malcolm X Boulevard in Dallas for fucking barbecue. No shit. Tim Herron's like, I got to go as deep as I can into the hood to find the best barbecue. Driving a rental car off of curbs and shit. How I didn't end up having to buy that goddamn Nissan Altima is absolutely beyond me. And then fucking
the bill will be in the mail tomorrow. Just wait.
Then we're all down, we're at an Airbnb in Dallas, Texas, right? And there's, like I said, Gunset and Vigor and GMD and Apache are all up in the same Airbnb. Depending on what night we were there, anywhere from 10 to 15, 16, 17, 18 guys staying in this Airbnb, just fucking, oh my God, the shenanigans and the fun and the jokes and the, getting the whole group to tell Justin that the Mossberg 940 Pro is the best shotgun that was ever made, even though we all, oh, dude, we got him. Oh my God, we got him so good. I sent this text message to people sitting at the dinner table we were out at a Mexican place. I was like, I'm going to ask you what like the best gun was and for the year. And you tell me Like whatever you say, you have to work it back to why it's the Mossberg 940 Pro. And fucking Phil Groff goes on a 10-minute marketing rant for the Mossberg 940 Pro. Meanwhile, if any of y'all know Phil Groff also does marketing rants about how he hates shotguns. But dude, Justin Payne just, I mean, he was literally like just beside himself at the horror. And meanwhile, John Willis at the other end of the table, who wasn't let in on the joke from Gunset, who's like one of their shotgun gurus, straight up was like, "The fuck we doing? Did you say what? Mossberg? What?" Like he was just losing it at the other end of the table. And I got these two dudes having strokes on either ends of me while I'm just in the middle of this. And Groff's like just, "Oh no, I'm just saying. I mean, the accessibility and the market share of the 12 gauge shot. I mean, dude, Phil Groff can fucking industry guy that shit like nobody's business. I mean, he did like one of his hair care promos, but for a shotgun. It was just fucking, just beautiful. And the funniest part of that is that like Tim, that was the night Tim was at the instructor dinner, like the big shot thing. So this was our AI dinner, right? So when we all got back later to the house and we're chilling, the way we had to tell Tim Kelly the story of how we got Justin was almost funnier than getting Justin. Because, you know, Justin, he's just, just like fucking, oh my God, bro. It was hilariously fun. Just laughing and giggling and being silly and sitting outside the hotel room.
And Justin gets quite animated when he gets passionate about something.
Oh, yeah.
So I can only imagine the reaction. It's not like he's sitting there quietly. I'm almost certain the enchilada fell out of his mouth as his jaw hit the table. Like, the hell did you just say about this gun that I have literally taken apart, put back together 18 times just to get it to work right?
He just was so mad. He was absolutely so mad. And I had prepped Tim on it the night before. I was trying to get Tim to be the one to do the shotgun promo, but it never lined up. Like they were never both sitting at the same table at the same time. And of course, at the Mexican dinner, we were all talking about the Mossberg 940, and Trey wasn't in on the joke either. So Trey was like, "Well, now wait a minute. I think the Walther PDPF deserves to be in on this conversation," and he's being all serious. So for like a moment in time, Justin's like, "Wait, is this a real conversation?" Like he kept having a stroke. I swear to God, we took 3 years off of his life just for a moment in time.
Even without all the classes and the insightful conversation that you got to be privy to, that reaction alone was worth the expense of flying all the way out to Dallas, Texas, get an Airbnb, get a rental car, just to fuck with Justin.
Easy day. And then just
to mess with Justin's worth it.
Of course, we're like hanging outside the hotel room, and you know, Jedi shows up. He's like, "Damn, you're sexy," and I'm like, "What's up, big man?" And like everybody's smoking cigars, and Tim Chandler's like giving Justin a shotgun lesson on the patio, like of a hotel, of an actual real people hotel. Thank God. But what a neat event, man. I think it was pretty cool. I'll certainly be going back. I'll certainly be participating in any way I can here moving forward with that.
Hopefully I'll get to head out there with you next year.
Dude, I was just gonna say this part, like if you're at all, whoever you are, you or the royal you listener, you, man, I'll tell you what, if this is a thing you want to go to, you got about 8 days from the time the tickets go on sale until the time the tickets are fucking sold out. So like it's either a thing that's happening or it's a thing that's not happening, but you can't be all halfway.
Right.
And you can't buy tickets for other people really, because they're not like transferable or whatever. It's not like you can just buy like general admission tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So Justin should get hazard pay to hang out with you all. Justin does get hazard pay, believe me. It's a hazard. It is a hazard. That poor guy. Let's see what other interesting fucking hanging out. I really enjoy like the people you get to know better. I mean, I got to know Kent's love language is trolling and cyberbullying. Trolling, cyberbullying, and just good old fashioned ribbon. My favorite though, Alex, is jokes on me. Like that's what you don't know. I really love it when the joke's on me. That's my ultimate favorite. But
yeah, so for some strange reason, the chat is not working for me. So,
well, you can either have an echo or a chat, but you can't have both. I want to tell you.
Right? Apparently, I'd rather go with the no echo.
Yeah, no, I do. I cut up for sure. Right, we cut up a lot. I think something. Here, I'll tell something on myself, or I'll talk about myself a little bit in a third-party self-critical kind of evaluation kind of thing. Like, I do such a serious, like corporate thing job all day that my gun business and podcasting and all the things that are like, this is my outlet to where I can get to be who I really am. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get the opportunity to be myself all day. So like what you're really getting, if you do a gun private lesson with me from like 6 to 10 on a weeknight, you're getting a 4-hour compressed version of who I would have been all day otherwise. Like in terms of like, I might only say 10 silly things a day, but because I can only say them in that short period of time, it just comes one right after the other. I also really truly think in Family Guy memes and like cartoons. Like that's what my inner monologue is, like Peter Griffin, basically. But let's see what else.
No lies detected. No lies detected whatsoever.
What else did I learn? Oh, I learned that Phil Groff and Justin Payne are absolutely blood brothers when it comes to food. Fuck that food truck. We ain't eating at no goddamn food truck at TACCON. We're leaving the facility and going to a like little Yelp gem restaurant. Barbecue and free Korean barbecue, Tex-Mex. Ain't nobody ate at one like normal ass chain restaurant the whole time.
Yeah, it's almost blasphemous to do that whenever you get to travel for. I mean, that's arguably, we'll call it biz leisure, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of business, but you're doing it because you want to, not because you have to. Yeah, it's almost a crime to go to a place that you don't get to often visit and eat at restaurants that you have where you're at home.
Right.
Right. You don't travel from Pennsylvania to Texas to eat at a Denny's or a McDonald's, right? You got to find the local joy. That's one of the things that I do enjoy when I get to travel even for work. Like when I go to, like there's times I've had to go to New Orleans. I'm not eating at a chain restaurant. I'm going to my client. I'm like, hey guys, give me a list of restaurants I need to go visit while I'm here. And there better not be a franchise name on that list. And sure as hell, those guys will be like, oh yeah, dude, you got to eat here and here and here and here. And every time I go down there, those guys have a brand new list for me to go try out. So they're like, you got to go down to the French Quarter, or you got to go here or there. It's a great, great experience.
Yeah. The whole, like, it's funny. So Phil related a story about how he went to wherever he went. We're going to say it was Nebraska for a training class. And he asked the dudes like, hey man, last night, like I need some good recommendations. And the one dude was like, man, I got you. And he's like, all right, cool. Guy's like, man, you're going to get on I-28 and you're going to go west for about 6 miles. You're going to get off exit 262. You got everything you could possibly want over there. You got you an Applebee's, a Chick-fil-A, a Chili's, a McDonald's, a Burger King. And Phil was like, my eyes glassed over. And then the next guy was like, nah, that wasn't what he wanted. Phil's like, oh, thank God. He's like, man, you go the other way. You get off of exit whatever. Don't be fooled by the sign that says there's no food at this exit because there fucking is, right? And if you get off that exit and drive 3 miles north, there's a little diner up there. And if you go in there and eat and don't have a slice of pie, you're not Christian. Like
Okay.
one of those deals, right? So good. Oh, then there's a place.
last time I went to Nebraska, I met Disturbed,
Like
the band.
like Stupefied Disturbed?
Yes.
Sound of Silence Disturbed?
Yes. Well, no, that's technically Simon and Garfunkel, but yes.
No, Disturbed did a cover.
I know they did, and it's way better than Simon and Garfunkel, but Simon and Garfunkel wrote it.
Just making sure.
But yeah. Of all the places, middle of bumfuck nowhere, Nebraska, which I think that's practically the whole state, right? I'm at the one decent hotel doing some work for a client. It snow everywhere, so no one's really traveling outside of the hotel. And Disturbed walks into the hotel bar. I'm like, no shit. So yeah, it was cool. Got to meet those guys.
Were you down with the sickness?
I was.
I would be too.
I was.
That would have been
I'm a huge metal fan, right? So Slayer, Disturbed, Five Finger Death Punch, Iron Maiden, all that, old and new school. I'm a big fan of it. So
yeah, you turned me on to the Death Punch therapy.
oh, absolutely, bro.
In your Charger going to Jedi's class in fucking where were we? Oh, we were by you. We were in Nashville. We were going up to Royal Range. And you go 962 miles an hour on your way into Nashville. That's your Death Punch therapy. I'm taking back control with my knuckles.
Yeah.
And you were just like steely-eyed, looking straight ahead with your hands on the wheel, just reaching down.
Oh, you're going 962 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, by the time we got to Royal Range, it was 1955, bro.
Dude. Oh, let's see. And then Texas, Shields, like Shields Sporting Goods.
Mm-hmm.
My Lord. If you want something.
So it's a bit of an iconic place, isn't it?
Dude, fuck Cabela's. Fuck Bass Pro. I don't ever want to go to Sportsman's Warehouse again. You can take Dunham's and throw it in the dumpster behind the Chick-fil-A. I want to go to Shields Sporting Goods. They had a murder of staccatos. They had Atlases. They had freaking.
That's not something you see. That is definitely not something you see on the shelf. Like I've walked into places that had all the staccatos and stuff, but to see Atlas Gunworks.
They were stocking Atlas Gunworks 2011s. They were stocking, Beretta 1301. I think they had Sons of Liberty rifles. I think Zach was looking for one. It had like 9 miles of freaking Year Pro. They had Manus, Manus, like the kick-ass Manus Blackbeards and shit. Rodney White like saw them on the shelf and just like came in his pants. It's like, they have them on the shelf. Like, yeah. And that's just a gun section. Meanwhile, fishing and kayaking and clothing and camping. I could have, dude, genuinely, I think I will plan another day in town just to fuck around at Shields next time. Like, that wasn't enough. There's a kick-ass barbecue joint right by Shields. Zach, what's the name of the barbecue joint by Shields? You're up in here. I don't know what Green Top Hunt and Fish is outside of Richmond, Virginia, Steve Dard, but this is the best sporting goods store I've ever been to in my whole life. I've never been to a better gun store or a better sporting goods store.
Yeah, it's a rarity to find one
more shit, like more variety and volume, and like they had all the shit. They had the Vertex, they had the freaking every optic you could ever imagine. Now, don't get me wrong, everything was no shit, fuck you, by God, retail price. Like,
right.
But whatever you wanted, it was in stock. It's several high-end guns. Hard Eights barbecue, that's it.
I think that settles it, bro. I'm gonna come with you next year, even if I just got to be the driver.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, just show up to TAC. First of all, you could totally. Never mind. I'm never gonna say this. I'll be banned for life. I think you could probably sneak into TACCon. Like real talk. I think you could just, if you just got some 511 pants with cargos on them, and like just rolled up in there and walked around, I think you'd probably get away with it. I mean, you get murdered. Probably. If Tom ever found you out, he would just Glock 17 you in the face, but.
And not like shoot you. His old ass would beat you to death.
Yeah. Yeah. You just die. He would just look at you wrong and you would melt. But,
so there's not to dig on Tom too much. He is a great guy. We've had him on the podcast, but I'm not going to have somebody on that podcast and not make fun of their age. With that being said, there is a particular trait that an adult human being picks up when they hit a certain age. I imagine it's somewhere between the ages of 64 and 67. But whenever we've all got moms, right? Everyone knows the look, right? That look your mom can shoot you and be like, yeah, I done fucked up. Like she don't even got to use your middle name. Like, you're in trouble. But it's a notable change in their face. Like you can see the expression. My grandmother, God rest her, she could just look at you and not like scowl or furrow her eyebrow or anything like that, but she would just look at you naturally and it would pierce your fucking soul. I imagine that Tom has that same, like only instead of piercing your soul, it would take your soul, tie it in a knot, throw it in the trash, and you would fall over dead.
You know, General Grievous from Star Wars, Clone Wars?
Yes.
He opens his robe and he has all the lightsabers that he took from all the Jedis.
Of all the fallen Jedi, yeah.
All the fallen Jedi. I imagine that when Tom opens his Hawaiian shirt, he just has little capsules of all the souls of previous firearms instructors he took.
It's all the frames of the guns that he's taken.
Oh yeah, we're that. Yeah. It's just like, oh, look at this cat. Glock 34 with custom stippling on it. This is mine now. This is
Yep.
Yeah. No truer words spoken. Let's see what else was a highlight from the tactical conference. I think let's find something to complain about. Oh, I know. I'll tell you what I'm gonna complain about. God damn it. Who designed the roads in Dallas, Texas? Have you ever driven in Dallas?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
you think my aggressive driving is bad? Dude, I am in the slow lane going below the speed limit out of fear.
Dude, we followed the first night we got into town. We went to Hard Eight's Barbecue. We went to Shields. Then we went into the ghetto to have barbecue again with Tim Herron. And then we followed Tim to a cigar store. And then from the cigar store, we followed Tim to the TACCon Hotel. Now, Apple Maps told us that to drive from the cigar store to the TACCon Hotel was like 15 miles. I was like a 48-minute drive going 90 miles an hour, just getting on and off interchanges where you had to get on the far left lane and go 6 lanes that way to get off an exit that was coming up in 0.8 miles. And then freaking whippity, whappity, zippity, zappity. And we're both driving these little white sedans, like, Nissan Altimas and Toyotas or whatever.
It looks like a cutscene. It looks like a cutscene from Fast and Furious.
Dude, okay, so I don't know if you guys realize this about Mr. Herron or not, but old Timmy Herron used to drive some like race cars and shit for funsies. He's a bit of a gearhead guy, knows how to do a thing or two on a car.
I remember his character in Mario Kart.
Oh my God, that's funny. Do not try to follow Tim Herron in Dallas. Your car, dude, that Nissan Altima was flashing warning lights like, this isn't USPSA. This isn't USPSA. Abort. Poor stage plan. And I'm just like, There I come. And then we're talking on the phone as we're driving. And Tim's like, Kent, does that Ultima have turn signals? I'm like, I never used them. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, I never knew we were turning. Like, you just after it. Yeah, just
Okay, that settles it. I am the driver next time.
oh, you'd have fucking shot people. You'd have actually.
I mean,
It was bad.
I know. I've driven through Texas. What bothers me in driving through Dallas is like, because everyone's like, "Oh, it's Texas. Don't mess with Texas." If by "don't mess with Texas," you don't mean you mean don't get in front of the overly exaggerated lifted trucks that have never seen dirt in their lives, that were bought with daddy's money and are driven by some young punk with a popped collar polo. Yeah, that's what you don't get in their way, because you will get run the fuck over. So, Kent, did we lose you? Kent, I'm alone and unsupervised. There's no telling what could happen, like giving away free gun classes. Kent. I have no idea what's going on right now.
Did you say free gun classes?
Yeah. Well, you just kind of left me, man. I don't know what the hell happened.
Well, see, what happened? Normally, if I have to pee, I just go mute microphone, stop camera, and just go do it. But now, because I have these AirPods in, I was listening the whole time while you were like, I'm unsupervised. I guess I'll give away gun classes. I had to like sprint back and go, no.
Oh, that's what I thought. I knew I'd get your attention.
Oh my god!
But yeah, dude, Dallas, Texas, where there will be a traffic jam of off-road vehicles.
Dude, that whole pop collar lifted truck, like, no lies detected there. There were also we had some encounters with the old-fashioned country boys.
Dallas, the official city of "you can't sue me, my dad's a lawyer."
Then there's like, we saw, Fiance in Houston and all that stuff. That's pretty cool. I wanted to go to Austin. No, not actually, but we saw a sign for Beyonce, and I was like,
oh, Jesus.
Please
jiggy. Don't do that again.
I thought it was really good, actually. Let's see. I really wanted to go to Austin, Texas, because Joe Rogan and Comedy Club and Kill Tony and all that's going on in Austin, Texas now. And you guys may not know, but if I'm watching a podcast, it's probably not about guns sometimes, because I really need like an escape from the gun thing. So I watch comedy podcasts a lot, and I really wanted to go see a live comedy show in Austin, Texas. And Justin and I were
Speaking of which, didn't I hear that Rogan opened up his own comedy club now?
Yeah, in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
Okay.
So, Rogan's got this club, and I was like, well, shit, we should go. Because, I'm a podcaster. He's a podcaster. I'm sure he can get me tickets.
Okay. You let me know if that works out for you, buddy.
Right. But, like, and Justin and I were just like, yeah, it'd be fun. Like, maybe one night we'll just, like, instead of doing the group thing, we'll just go to the comedy club. I don't know if you guys realize this, but Texas is a fucking big state.
Yeah, there ain't nothing in Texas that isn't 2 to 3 hour drive.
Fucking 4. We're like, never mind.
Yeah.
So we didn't do that.
Yeah, it's bad. I noticed this at Pans. So I've lived in Florida. I went to high school there. It was actually really cool because I got to go see some friends that I haven't seen in 14 years.
Whoa.
Yeah. My oldest friends. We were friends in high school. We've stayed in touch this whole time. It was really cool because all of her kids call me Uncle TJ.
Aww.
And the last time, so her daughter is the eldest of the kids. The last time I saw her, I held her in both my hands. She was less than a year old. Wyatt had
She's
just
5'2",
we found out
126 pounds.
right. I'm not that big, Jesus. But we found out we were pregnant with our son the day that she was born. Right. So that's how tight we have been. And now she's 15. And I'm like, my God, I'm like, it was surreal almost. As long as it's been since I've actually seen. Now I get pictures and stuff, like they stay in touch with me, but it's different. It's different when you get to see these people, this family in person, and you haven't seen them in, a decade and a half. And then, when I went down to Pans, I actually got down there a few days early before I had to compete. And I was like, you know what? Because I got down there on Wednesday, went and checked into my Airbnb, and Thursday I drove over to where I lived in Florida, and I went and spent the day with them. Had dinner, just caught up, got to spend time with all the kids. The boys are, Jesus, the boys are about as big. One of them is bigger than I, like taller and stronger than I am. The kid's a beast. The youngest boy is going to be an absolute monster. It was really cool to get to go see them, right? But I did notice this, like kind of speaking to the whole traffic issue. I remember things being in Florida being a lot closer. I'm at my Airbnb and I just wanted, like, I had just finished competing. I'm like, you know what? I've been cutting weight. I'm going to go like real strict on my diet. I was like, I'm going to go whole hog on a pizza. And when you're in Florida, the right pizza to get is Hungry Howie's. Hard stop. Well, the nearest Hungry Howie's was 6 miles away. And I'm like, oh, I'll just order in from Hungry Howie's. And they're like, sir, we don't deliver to where you're at. I'm like, I'm 6 miles away. I looked it up. I was like, fuck it. I'll just go pick it up. 6 mile drive, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have got to be shitting me.
That's what Dallas was like, dude. I couldn't believe it.
It was unreal. And surprisingly, as populated as these states are, did you have an issue with your cell signal, by the way, while you were out there in Dallas?
I did.
Yeah, I don't know if the towers are starting to get congested because of overpopulation or whatever have you. But like, dude, 5G ultra wide, like the latest and greatest 5G ultra, was absolute trash.
Yep. So all my all the calls that were coming into my phone, like including you, were coming in as no caller ID.
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't have that problem, but I'm pretty sure I missed some calls because I sure as hell couldn't, use social media or the internet or any of that crap. It was really strange how that was not working in Orlando of all places.
Oh, it's just weird.
Maybe maybe Disney's controlling the cell towers after and trying to get one over on old DeSantis after they've been fighting.
Ho ho! Fuck those Republicans! Ho ho! We're gonna turn off the cell signal.
Mm-hmm.
Boop.
Yep. I control everything. Yeah.
Oh, Walt. I wonder if Walt still has a heartbeat or if he's still frozen or what the deal is with old Walt.
I'll tell you what though, nobody has accurately reflected Disney like South Park has.
Oh my God. Dude. Okay, so Zach just brought up 2 TACCON stories. I can't park sedans. I don't know how big a sedan is. Like they're riddle. So I don't know. I was like over the parking lot, like hanging the front end out into the street because I'm used to the spatial relationship between trucks and the front of the truck, not the sedan. So I was like parking all weird the whole time. Fucking Justin. God, Justin. I love this man so. I really do. Justin and I were on the phone for 30 fucking minutes when we both, like, I had landed. I was trying to get the rental car. I call him up. I'm like, yo, what's up? You good? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, what up? Oh, I landed. I'm cool. I'm like, all right, cool. Come on down to the rental car spot. Like, I'm down here getting a rental car. Just come on down here. Get your bags. Come on down. Yeah, all right. Got my bags. All right, what bus are you on? I'm like, I'm not on a bus. I'm at the rental car place. Oh, I'm on this bus. Oh, I'm going to terminal this. Oh, I'm going to terminal that. we think we're circling like the same airport. The motherfucker flew into Dallas Love, and I flew into Dallas Fort Worth. He was at a whole ass other airport, fucking 15 miles down the road. Like, dude, I'm on the phone with fucking Justin. I'm like, Justin, I am at the goddamn rental car place for Hertz. And he's like, Kent, I am at the goddamn rental car place for Hertz. I'm like, Justin, no, you're not. Like, I'm pretty sure I'd see you. Like, so I'm pretty sure I'd see you. Blah, blah, blah. I hear a dude in the background of his phone go, hey guys, there's 2 airports.
Oh Lord. You know that there was some dude in the crowd watching you. Some dude in the crowd watching Justin, and they're just like, hold on, how long do we let this go before we chime in and say something? Because this is just comedy gold.
The fucking, I couldn't believe it. Because I said in my flight info, MDT to DFW, well, yeah, okay, I'll get a flight. And of course, he's flying in from BWI because, Old Bay and Crab Wings or whatever. Fucking, I don't know.
Did you just say Crab Wings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Old Bay Crab Wings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's Justin. All 3 of his favorite things: Old Bay crab and wings.
Okay, gotcha.
There you go.
Okay, I was like, crab, like, but chicken fingers, huh?
Right. No. But yeah, dude, we opposite fucking airports. So I get the rental car and I go out, and I'm out there, like still on airport property, like dropping my trousers to put an Enigma on and load up, because I figured we could do the, like, one of us put the gun on in the airport bathroom thing and one of us not have to worry about it or whatever, just at least for like a minute or two until we got to like somewhere private. No, fucking just, I got to go get Justin now. I got to drive through the fucking absolute ghetto to go get him, get off 17 exits, go 28 miles out of my way, circle in fucking airports. I'm like, there's planes. Like, I'll get him. Pull in. He's just sitting there, just being Justin, doing this thing he always does. I fucking roll in. He's like, fucking, I thought you said it was like 15, 20 miles away. And I was like, bro. Like, it's like, all right, well, where's the place for me and Zach can have? I'm like, it's 15, 20 miles away. It was like the punchline of the whole goddamn 5 days was, how far is this place? Oh, it's only 15 miles. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Holy shit. Then
accurate depiction of Texas.
One of the team members at the Airbnb decided to bust off some firecrackers. And I went full irate dad mode. For whatever reason, I wasn't in the moment for it. And they're cracking off fireworks, and we're in a nice Airbnb in a neighborhood. And I'm like, motherfucker, Tim Kelly put his name on this fucking Airbnb, and you're gonna get fucking banned from. And I'm like hollering about why, who fucking set those off? And it turns out the dude that set the fireworks off wasn't even at the table full of people I was yelling at. I'm going like full dad mode, fucking like range voice yelling, and like the person who did it wasn't even sitting there. The person who did it was not anywhere near me yelling. So all my fucking like dad voice gusto that I mustered up totally went.
And by the time you run into that guy, you're actually calm now. Like you got it all out of your system.
Yeah, I was like, don't do that. Oh God. Fucking what else? Marcia Childress is my favorite human on the planet. Like I think I might have spent as much time with Marcia as I did anybody else. God, was that fun. Oh man.
She's been training more and more lately, hasn't she?
Yeah, Marcia's getting after it, man. Marcia's getting after it. She was in the top 50 of the girls at TACCon in the competition.
Nice.
I mean, there are like 48 girls attack. I don't know how many. That's a lie. But no, she did well.
Good.
She enjoyed herself. She and I were supposed to take a class together that I was told rained out, and she was. So I wish I'd have got to be in the one class with her, because I'd have liked to see her shoot all weekend, but I didn't get that much of an opportunity to.
Right.
Let's see. What else? What other cool? Oh, hung out with Landfair from primary and secondary. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
He's huge in real life.
He's a tall guy. He's a tall fella.
Yeah, big boy. So I'm going to ask
tall.
you this question, right? So we're talking about me coming with you next year. What do I need to bring, or does anybody who's planning on attending TACCON need to bring with them by way of gear, ammo, shit like that?
Yeah, man. Here's the deal. First of all, you don't need to bring ammo. You just fly into town and buy ammo at Shields.
Okay.
So easy enough. So here's what I took. I took my Vertex dead letter bag as my carry-on with my, iPad and my headphones and my phone chargers and my, like my EDC essentials bag was my carry-on. Little son bitchin' carry-on, not big. And then just the Pelican 1610, like the full-size Pelican suitcase, gun case / suitcase. You got to get the Apple AirTags for the suitcases so you can track your suitcases. So if you're gun box.
I actually did that. I went and got a 4-pack of those things. I've got one in my sling bag, one in my suitcase, and I have one in my gym bag.
Yep. So you got to do that. But dude, all I had was personal clothes and hygiene stuff for 5 days. I had 10 Glock mags. 15 Glock mags, 5 for the Glock 48 and 10 for the Glock 34. I took 2 boxes of carry ammo on the plane with me. Ear Pro batteries, iPro, a little box to carry the ammo around in, and the mag loader, holsters, very minimal range gear. Like,
okay,
I really did not take a shit ton of range gear. I mean, first of all, right, like, if you're just attending and you're not teaching, like, oh no, my range gear failed, or I need something, or whatever. Well, the worst thing you do is drive up the street and buy it. Like, not a big fucking deal. If I was to teach there, I would just need a second suitcase. So I would need the 1610 with the guns and all that kind of stuff in it. And then I would need another Pelican 1610 with, I think that's the nomenclature on the Pelican, but you get the idea. The big rolly Pelican suitcase looking thing.
Yep.
You just would need 2 of those. You would just need to check 2 of those. And you would actually need to bring all your teaching and all your range gear in one of those. Like, you'd probably bring 2 Ear Pro. You'd probably bring demo guns, dummy guns. You'd probably bring extra holsters, extra belts, extra gear. You'd bring range aids, visual aids. You'd bring your own proprietary target shirt. Like, you'd have to have 2 Pelicans. But either way, pretty easy to get through. It's not super hard. I pared down the stuff in my truck. I looked at my truck and I was like, all right, well, I could have just filled another Pelican with this stuff and it would have been fine. So wouldn't have been that big a deal. Flying with guns, like, people, we did the episode about airline travel in general, but like, flying with guns is fucking easy. People make way too much of a problem out of that. It's really not that hard.
Yeah, it's really not. Like, the biggest takeaways from that is read the TSA guidelines and then read the guidelines for your actual specific airline, because there are differences between the two.
Yeah.
But as long as you do, it takes all of 10 minutes to figure out exactly what you can and can't do. So.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Man, I don't know. I could tell stories for days. I mean, the silliness and the fun and the jokes and the, see, I'm trying to think of other people I got to really hang out with and got to know. Oh, hanging out with Doc was good. Not that I don't know Doc. Oh, you know what? You know who I got to spend some time with? A guy, MSP endorsed instructor and one of Jedi's frequent AIs, Gil Navarez. I got an opportunity to really get to know Gil pretty well. Like I conversed with him and talked to him and know like a little bit of him, but spending a couple days in a row in the same social circle with him, he was a pretty chill, pretty good guy to get to know. See, I already knew Tim and Ashton pretty well, so it wasn't like getting to know them any more than I already did. In a strange way, I really got to know Phil Groff pretty well in this experience. Well, it's just because him and I have spent like a day on the range and then not, and a day on the range and then not together. But I mean, we traveled together, eating food together, hanging out together. We need to bring Phil on the podcast to have him tell the story about the time he was king of a country for 45 minutes. That is, dude, I'm not going to ruin it or give any context at all. I'm going to tell you that story is about as funny as the Brooke Kreischer machine story.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Like, just the fucking... like his comedy. Oh, and then Phil, the one night at the Airbnb, Phil like put on his Chef Boyardee hat and started making like habanero bacon wrap fucking titty tenders or what. I don't even know what the fuck. He was just like making orgasm mouth bites. Like who are you? Oh, dude, I really like to cook. What the fucking like savage, monster man Phil Groff's up in there like chef's kiss. Fucking just incredible. So funny. And so good. Such good food. Hanging out with the gun sec crew is, of course, it's always really cool. Scotty's, the guns, like, and then if like you're at this Airbnb and all you're doing is just like, yeah, motherfucker, everybody tell me your best story. Oh my God. Just laughing. My face hurt for 4 days laughing. Like,
oh, wow.
Just nonstop. Anyway, I realize at this point that this podcast has been an hour and a half of me basically being a kid coming back and telling dad about summer camp. And you know what? I don't give a fuck at all. Like, I don't even care.
No, man, it's worth it. It's worth it. It humanizes us. Everyone thinks that we're computer-generated Chat GPT images.
I did pass the Turing test. See?
The what test?
The Turing test.
What is that?
I know a computer thing. You don't know?
The Turing test?
Turing. Shut up. The one where you ask a computer like questions and it can't be a computer if it answers. You know what I'm talking about.
Nope.
Like how to prove it's a robot. Hold on.
Is that where you select all the traffic lights in the picture?
That's a CAPTCHA. Turing test. Turing. The Turing test, originally called the imitation game by Alan Turing in 1950, is a test of a machine's ability to exhibit intelligent behavior equivalent to or indistinguishable from that of a human.
Gotcha.
And we learned.
And we did. Oh, and here's an entire article written on it at the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy.
See? I am a learned man with many leather-bound books.
Oh, Turing and the Imitation. Okay, I know. I know what this is now. The Imitation Game is what I remember it as. Okay.
Point is, fuck
Gotcha.
you. I'm not a ChatGPT robot. Our shenanigans are cheeky and fun. Oh, dude, and of course, like here's Alex on the. I feel like I know Alex so well now from like podcasts and chats and shit that I got to hang out with him a bunch too.
Who?
So let's see. Alex, shootist. Oh, you're not seeing the chat. That's right.
Guy's a dick.
No.
I'm kidding. I know who Alex is. I love you, buddy.
couple things. In his case specifically, and I could apply this to a bunch of people that come to these things. Really cool to see that internet gun guy influencer person is actually fucking like hashtag about that life and is actually out training and does actually have skills and is capable of doing the things they talk. Like that's really cool to see. And I could talk about Alex right now, but I could just as easily talk about 10 other dudes and girls who like I've known them, known who they are, talked to them, maybe even met them in person, but I've never actually seen them like run their tools and do their shit. And it's pretty cool to be like, oh, that guy does actually have a draw stroke. Well, fucking look at that. Like,
oh yeah.
That's
you know
nice.
that's what I'm gonna. I know I was digging on Alex a little bit, but I will say this. So, since I have been watching his content, both on YouTube and all the social media stuff, there is one thing that I think Alex does very, very well as he presents himself. He comes across as very genuine. He's not like putting on some shtick or some alternate persona, something that's a little bit more maybe bombastic to gain attention and clicks and follows and likes and shit. Not like I imagine like if I were to sit down and talk to him, and he's been on the podcast, but like if I were to sit down and talk to him in private, maybe at dinner or over a cigar or something, same fucking guy.
That.
Same guy. And I love that.
We did it first over a cigar. I don't know if he had one or not, but that was what the context was. Dude sitting around with cocktails and beers and cigars. It's so neat to me. I would say that 85-90% of the people who you meet on the internet and then go meet at TACCon are exactly the same person.
Yeah, that's more true in the gun community than any other community.
Well, but here's the thing though. Now
there's still some fakers. Listen, there's still some fakers, 100%.
Well, the shot
at least
show
our
thing
circle.
and the gun bunnies and all that. Like, there's that shit, but that shit ain't at TACCon. The shot show
They're
vibe,
not people.
that ain't at TAC. No, that vibe ain't there. But here's the thing. I said 85-90% of the people are exactly who they are online. Now that difference, the 10 or 15%, are not fakers or are not whatever. They're just kind of socially awkward and a little shy.
Right.
Like, if anything, the internet brings a little more out of their personality than the in-person stuff does.
Okay.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like, so a couple people are
I get you.
Where they're like really like online. In person, they're like, yeah. At first. And then they get to vibe with you, and then they get to know you a little bit. And the next thing you know, you're arguing about guns or shooting or whatever. Like now you're interacting with that person the exact same way you've interacted with them digitally. But at first, there's that little like buffer zone.
Right.
But with a lot of these people, that's not. There was none of that with like a guy like Alex. Ain't none of it. Ain't fucking none of it. It ain't there. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, Alex is good people. Yeah. No, I will say this. It's the one thing, if we talk about FOMO, fear of missing out, that is one of the things that I do feel like I miss out on is like all these guys and gals that we've had on the podcast that you get to ultimately meet before me because I never leave this basement.
If anybody's a ChatGPT robot,
it's ChatGPT.
That's right. That's so fucking funny.
Yeah, well, it was funny. Like the first time I got to meet Joel Trey, he was like, "You're a lot shorter in person, but damn, are you jacked?"
Fucking Joel Trey. Speaking of people coming into their own and shit, God, Trey is on fire.
Bro, that dude is, dude, some of those things I'm seeing him post, like him running that plate rack one-handed about as fast as I can run it two-handed. I'm very proud of my ginger brother.
It's not just the shooting. Like, he's on fire just as a person. He's just like, really coming into his own.
Oh, 100%.
That's always good to see. Him and I shared a fucking $400 margarita at a Mexican restaurant. Jesus Christ.
A
Not
$400.
literally, but
Oh,
almost.
oh,
We were like it was one of these deals where you had to wait outside for your table, but they had an outside bar and you could get a margarita to quote unquote take home. And then they gave you a straw to quote unquote take home with your margarita, and you're all standing on a corner drinking margaritas out of a plastic thing. Holy smokes. We're down there just like, I was like, Trey, let me buy you a margarita. And oh my God damn, dude, just fucking. Guys, like, that'll be. I'm not even gonna say a number because I don't. Whatever. That's not the point of my story. The point of my story is like him and I are both like, the fuck? Like, how much did you say that margarita was gonna be? And of course, he was like, no, I'll get mine. I was like, nah, bro, business expense. Like, that's what we're here for. And like, we're standing there drinking these double margaritas, just like savoring that shit. And he was being just totally himself.
You kind of have to at that point.
Oh, yeah. He's being himself and being all silly and being funny and telling me about his church and his life and his family and just full send. And I'm just standing there among like this group. Like you're looking around, you're like, there are 15 savages that are about to have enchiladas at this fucking restaurant. There's about, if there's 15 of us, there's at least 15 guns. And, you know, Scott Cronin's there, and he's got a gun on his ankle and a gun in his pocket and a gun in his waistband and a gun under his hat and, you know, God knows what. And I'm just looking around. I'm like, dude, this is fucking, I can't help but feel like for a moment I'm in a gangster movie.
Mm-hmm.
Just wild. Just absolutely wild.
You just get you're getting this voiceover as you walk through the TACCON experience, like voiceover by Ray Liotta. And that's what I knew. I wanted to be a gangster, right?
Dude, every bit of it. Every fucking bit of it. But yeah, there's our TACCON recap episode. You should go. There. We could have done a fucking 35-second YouTube short. TACCON, you should go.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's not how we roll, dude.
Yeah, dude, Alex, you're exactly right. Gun culture attracts it's socially awkward misfits, like for sure. For freaking sure. Man, oh
100%. But yeah, man, I'm down. I'm coming with you. I'm coming with you next year, so keep me posted on when tickets go available.
Oh, I keep refreshing my fucking email. Like, so just relax. We might be here any second. We might be getting like the old, hey, TACCON 2024. Like,
they seriously like they start releasing tickets like within a couple of months after.
Oh, dude, it'll be a year out. Like, yeah.
Okay. Yep. Well, let me know.
Oh, I shalls indeed.
I'll make sure to fly into Houston while you fly into Dallas, just so you and Justin both have a story to tell.
Fly into Austin. I think next year, I think next year I'm going to bring the missus with me. I think we're going to bring homeboy with us, little man. And I do think we might make it like a trip, like TACCON.
Are you thinking about? Are you thinking about driving?
I don't know, but definitely, I found myself wishing I had more days in town on either side. Like, I found myself being like, "Fuck!" Like, there's the JFK thing, and like, I could walk up into the book depository with my Glock 34 and look down and be like, "Yeah, I could have done it." Like, you know. Like, don't you want? Like, you want to do that, don't you?
And I would go stand on the grassy knoll and say, "I remember this place."
Time traveling ginger now.
Just because I can prove that there was a second coming on the grassy knoll does not mean that I was there.
Oh, fuck. Last story, and then we will cut this. Phil needed to get ammo. So Phil and Justin and I jumped in my rented Altima, and we went to a no-shit mom-and-pop Texas gun store.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was one aisle. Holsters, mags, other shit, guns, ammo. Like, in the back, this dude had like a drill press and an old mill, like an old like mill. He had a lathe back there. He had like a real no shit old school gun shop, like an old gunsmithing setup back in there. That, I mean, he had like a lathe from like International Harvester or some like that shit was,
you know
from
what the funny thing?
1920s.
I'm starting to detect that this is going to end with still got the shovel.
Exactly, dude. That's who this guy was. That's where the joke was going. This motherfucker, Phil walks in there and goes, "Hey man, I need some ammo." And the guy goes, "What you want?" I was like, "Oh, I was looking for 9mm." He's like, "All right." Fucking doesn't move his head. Just goes like this. Grabs a box of 50 Winchester white box on the table in front of Phil. Phil goes, "I'm going to need about 250 rounds." Guy goes, "All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, there's other 9mm ammo in the place, right? There's Federal, there's this or that. Phil didn't dare to be like, "So what's it cost for those versus those, or how much per round?" Or fucking dude could have said $4,712. Phil would have been like, "There you go." Like,
Yeah. So there's a scene in the movie Hell or High Water where they're sitting at the diner and the waitress comes up and goes, "Okay, what don't you want?"
Yep. Either you don't want the mashed potatoes or you don't want.
Or you don't want the green beans.
Yep. Oh,
but you're
goodness.
getting the steak.
Yeah.
The question is, what don't you want?
Dude. But I'm telling you what. And so Phil was like, "Oh, okay." And the guy was like, "Oh, that'd be $70 and whatever cents." Phil goes, "All right." He peels off cash. And the guy's like, "Oh." I mean, he got like, you heard his dick hit the table. Like, he got a little cash boner, right? And Phil's like, "Well, yeah, it's cash." And he goes, "All right, in that case, let me do some math." This old boy broke out an abacus, dusted off one of them calculators that has the receipt printer that comes out with it. Fucking, and I'm sitting there going, "Well, whatever Texas's state tax is, move this, never mind. Like, it'll be fine." This guy fiddle faddle fucked around on his calculators and everything for a solid 40 minutes. Exaggerated slightly, but it felt like forever, right? Dude, fucking, after a while, he just looks up at Phil and goes, "Oh, hell, just give me 320s. Phil's like, "Here's your 320s. Takes his Winchester white box. We go out. Justin's like, just like trying not to giggle pants, lose his mind. Phil and I are looking at each other.
That's the guy from the grassy knoll.
Dude, literally. Phil and I looked at each other and I was like, "Phil, you ever seen the movie The Shooter?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah, you mean the body's out past Terra Lingua? I still got the shovel." And I was like, "That's the fucking guy right there. That literally is who that guy is." It was incredible how fucking, like, just, my goodness. And I mean, that dude was crippled. Like, he like crouched over to the counter. So it had that like whole, he wasn't in a wheelchair, but pretty close.
Yeah,
like,
but he parked his ass behind that counter in 1906 and hasn't moved since.
Yeah. Like, the fucking one of them dudes with the pocket protector and the suspenders and the fucking
got a slide rule in there. Yep.
The Dickies.
I'll tell you what though, could you imagine the stories that dude could tell, or even the rifles that might have come out of that shop?
So while this whole transaction was taking place, I was up in there like, that's a pre-64 Winchester. Like, that's a Smith & Wesson model 19-nothing. Like,
right.
I'm just kind of like, this fucking place, like, they're, and nothing had a price. I didn't dare to go, "Hey, how much is that?" Because then God Almighty just, he'd have had to call his wife.
Here comes the abacus.
Yeah. But holy shit. I wanted to ask him, like, "Hey, man, you got, and the whole, like, you're in the place, like, you're right here, like, the holsters are, like, by your face." And the whole time I was just thinking about being like, "Hey, man, you guys got any holsters?" just to watch him just be like,
yeah. There's like it's like 18 people crammed into a 40-foot shipping container.
that literally, it was about the square footage of a shipping container. That's about, and the back like opened up to the, gunsmithing shop.
Right.
And he could like see me like, what, an international harvester fucking lathe? Like, what is it? What's back there? Like, he could see me looking around, and you could just tell he was like crutching the door closed slightly. It's like, oh my God. But yeah,
That's awesome,
dude,
man.
old Phil was just dying. So I don't know. I got nothing else to say. We're done. Podcast over. I'm done telling stories. Come to
Good
Defensive
stuff, man.
Rifle Metrics April 22nd. Come to Defensive Pistol Metrics June 10th and 11th. Come to Defensive Pistol Metrics September 9th and 10th. Come
and
to
all the
Med
classes
Class,
in between.
May 21st. Come, I don't know, greenmountaindefense.com/training. Come get your shit on. Still got a few slots for Tim Herron, but not a ton. Not a ton at all. Yeah, classes are selling. Privates are booking. Guns are getting shot. Here to announce that this company is letting us test guns for them. So that's really cool. You guys see that? No? Fuck yous. We'll tell you if they don't suck.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
What else? Just the tip. What else, man? I don't know. That's all I got. What do you got? Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah.
Pan-Ams?
No. So, Pans is over. So Nashville Open, April 22nd. Yep. Nashville Open next weekend. Me and the missus will be competing.
Woo!
So that'll be a good time. And then Defensive Pistol Metrics in June and Defensive Pistol Metrics in September out with our friends at Apache Solutions. So looking forward to those, buddy. Folks, that is all the time we have for this week. Thank you very much for tuning in. Just a couple of quick announcements. Of course, there is now a dedicated Sling'N Led Podcast Instagram page. So please go give us a follow over there at Sling'N Led Podcast. Also, you can now find us on Rumble. We've been uploading or cross-loading some of the podcast episodes over to Rumble. Hopefully, we will get to a point to where we can dual broadcast between both YouTube and Rumble. Rumble's a very good platform. So very happy to see some of us some of our episodes gaining traction over there. Please tell your friends, send them over here. I know we've been out for a couple of weeks, but hey, life gets in the way, guys. As much as we love doing this, it doesn't take away our responsibilities to our families and our loved ones that we have to accomplish and even our jobs. So we hope to not have another hiatus like that anytime soon. With that being said, just a couple of things coming up. We will do a podcast next week. Probably be Kent and myself again. Kent, we should try to get some of the Apache boys on the show. We haven't had them on in a couple of episodes. And then April 28th, Ron Flowers will be joining us on the podcast for the first time in the hot seat. So that's going to be a good time. Looking forward to what he has to say and talk to us about on the show. We're going to be talking about his training company, Civilian Defensive Training. Did I get that right?
Defensive Training. Citizens Defense Training. Citizensdt.com if you want to go check out everything that they offer over there. But again, he'll be on April 28th. Looking forward to that broadcast, of course. If you're going to carry a gun, you should carry medical. And if you're not going to carry a gun, damn it, you should still carry medical. Code BRAVO15, that's BB15, will get you 15% off at checkout at darkangelmedical.com. We get nothing back for that, but we do want to let Kerry know that we're showing him some love. So throw that the Sling'N Led podcast sent you in your order notes when you order from darkangelmedical.com. Of course, we love bringing you this free content as much as we can, but you're going to buy gun stuff anyway. You might as well buy it from our affiliate links. These are trusted affiliates. No additional cost to you for the stuff you're already going to buy, and we get a little something on the back end to help support the show. All of our affiliate links are at greenmountaindefense.com/affiliate-links. All the information you need is right there. Just click and start shopping. Until we see each other again, God bless you all. Take care of each other. And get out and shoot.